Buffalo. A new lawsuit raising questions about the future of those traffic cameras. Have you been busted? I have. Officials in Sioux City, Iowa are challenging new rules now put in place by the DOT. Those new rules say red light and speed cameras should not be used as long-term enforcement tools and require cities to turn in reports annually on each of their cameras on state roads. Well, city officials say the new regulations are too broad and the cameras are needed to police the roadways. Critics concerned those cameras are just used to bring in millions of dollars in fines. Brian Claypool is a defense attorney, and he's my guest today. So there's a lot to chew on here, but this, everyone can relate to this story.
I've been busted too.
Oh, okay, high five on that.
Right.
We both admit it. We've both been caught.
But I want one of these cameras up in my street so that I can stop people speeding so my little girl doesn't get hurt.
See, now I feel the same way about my own street. But when we get busted ourselves for somebody else's streets, we don't like these cameras.
Exactly.
What's going on in Iowa?
Well, in Iowa, what happened is in 2008, the Supreme Court came down and said that the cities can erect these red light cameras and these speeding cameras. And then what happened is the city of Sioux City put up all these cameras. Now the Department of Transportation has come in unilaterally. Bear in mind, they're not a legislative body.
Right.
And they crafted these new regulations that says now to the city of Sioux City, you've got to take these down unless you can meet certain criteria to show that there's a public safety issue.
So now the city has to do studies in these areas in which they've put the cameras up, and they have to be done by May.
Exactly, by May 1st, and then the Department of Transportation is going to look at it case by case. For example, there has to be some evidence, empirical data showing there's a design issue with the roadway, or maybe there's a volume of accidents that mandates that there be a camera
and not
in place.
just a revenue generating. Okay, now what does this mean for communities and states all across the country?
Well, I think this is a huge issue, and the decision in this case could set a precedent for cities and states nationwide, because the fundamental issue here is going to be, is this just another ulterior way to make money for a city and take more money out of our pockets, or is this truly an issue of safety for the community?
Right. I got to stop you there, Brian, because we got a Fox News alert. The President of the United